We moved into this 1950s fixer-upper California bungalow in 2019. A quick thank you to Birch Living for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. I'll never forget when we found this property and toured it, my husband made the comment, well, we won't be buying that because there's way too much work that needs to be done. And a few months later, we signed the papers and bought this property knowing we were going to have to fix up every single portion of this home and property to make it functional for us to live in. Right off the bat, we had to do quite a few things that we didn't think we would have to do right away, which was repipe the entire home. We had to get a new roof and we had to replace the water heater. We had to do a lot of rewiring and fixing the electrical, which was not done properly. So right off the bat, we started with a lot of projects that we thought we could wait on and do later on. Then we decided to start making the kitchen more functional. Our long-term plan with the kitchen is to completely gut it, rip everything out, and put it into a better layout that functions better with this home. But because we are paying for everything as we go working on these projects, we're not taking out any loans, and we are definitely not going into debt for the projects we're doing on this house. So we're going to live with what we have and just make it work for us in the best way possible. This old linoleum was horrible and really dirty. You could not get it clean. So we ended up relaying new linoleum over the top of this. We also took out a dysfunctional dishwasher and my husband built a cupboard in its place. These small changes have made this kitchen work for us for the time being. We also painted all the cupboards with just a bright white paint, and I've had comments in the past, why did we paint the beautiful wood? The wood is horrible. It is plywood, and it has been painted many times over the years, and people have stripped it and repainted it, and if you looked up close, it was in terrible condition, so the white paint just made it look a lot fresher and brighter in there and cleaned it up a lot. We also have a 1950s kitchen with mint and yellow tile, which is a lot of fun. So I decided to lean in to those colors and paint a portion of the kitchen mint, and it just ties the whole thing together and makes it a fun place to cook and hang out in. We also added some beadboard for some detail, because why not make something beautiful in the meantime before you're going to completely redo it. We have been living here 3 years so far with this, and we absolutely love it. There was a time when we had a microwave on our counter. We decided to put in a hanging microwave because this solved two problems for us. We really didn't have the space for a microwave on our counter, and also it gave us a fan to suck all the smell out when we're cooking. So this solved two problems, and it made it so much more functional in here to have the microwave up on the wall and out of the way. One day I was standing in the kitchen and analyzing how it was laid out, and I started to think that the far end of our kitchen was not being utilized very well. We had the fridge at the very end, and we had some random little tables and things, and that's when it hit me that we could put some cupboards at the end of this kitchen and have so much more workable space. I asked my husband if he could make me some inexpensive shelves, and he said sure, and this is just so I could get some stuff up out of the way, but also make this space beautiful in my eyes, because while we are saving up money for our final kitchen, it is so important for me to have a space that I feel is beautiful to work in and enjoy. Now moving on to our bedroom, when we moved in, there was some sort of really weird detail of paint on the wall. So we repainted this entire room, and we decided to make it as nice as possible by just adding a rug and getting a bed frame and some curtains. Which brings me to today's sponsor, Birch Living. Birch is a premium mattress-in-a-box company that makes mattresses and sleep products that are stylish, comfortable, and environmentally conscious. Their non-toxic mattresses are made right here in America and are crafted with organic and natural materials that have been sustainably sourced. It was important to me to choose a Birch mattress that is made with organic and natural materials because I feel hot when I sleep, so the organic materials help to keep me cool and regulate my body temperature. In addition to being a better mattress for me, Birch is committed to being better for the planet. I love that my mattress is not releasing dangerous emissions into the air as it is guaranteed free of harmful chemicals. The best part of all this is Birch delivers your mattress right to your front door for free within the US. I've had my Birch mattress for over a year and I love it. What I like most is how comfortable it is compared to our old mattress. With your Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial along with a 25-year warranty. Each Birch mattress comes with 2 of their EcoRest pillows made from recycled plastic bottles. They're breathable and better for the environment. I love my Birch Luxe mattress, and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Birch. You can click the link below or go to birchliving.com/Shannon Torrens for $400 off your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Eventually, we need to replace the windows in this room and figure out a different layout for the closet. The closet doors just block half the closet, so that space could be utilized better. But in the meantime, we added some beadboard to the wall, and we also painted the top of the wall a really pretty gray color. It's called Agreeable Gray, in case you're interested. We also decided to revamp our side tables for fun. We decided a pop of color would be great in here since everything else was pretty neutral. We went with teal and then we sanded down the top and stained it a light white color. It all came together to look really nice, at least in our eyes. We absolutely love this space now. Even my husband will comment that he really enjoys being in this room and that it feels calm and relaxing overall. And eventually we will do more in here, as I mentioned, replacing the windows and the closet, but for now it feels great to have this space completed. One of the things I've learned through my last 8 years of home ownership is that it is very important to make your home as enjoyable as possible in the moment. Even if you don't have the money to do the exact project you want to do, it's important to make it feel comfortable for yourself in the moment you're in now. So moving on to our living room, we had this extremely weird closet that looked like a bedroom closet in the middle of our living room. And this bothered my husband way more than it bothered me, but he had this vision to rip that out and make a wall where we could hang our television and have a few shelves with a pocket door that would block out all the noise from the TV and have it quiet where there's a bedroom behind that wall. So we actually built the wall into the room a little bit so we could have room for the pocket door and a lot of insulation so it could be quiet in that room.
And the lights work with just clapping, so...
Just kidding, it's a remote.
So that way when people ever come over to our house, we can really impress them and like, well, these people are so cool. I'm like, I know.
In the 1970s, someone had added on to this house, which made this layout very funky. This room right here is attached to our kitchen, and there's this window here that we decided should be a door. It just makes sense to walk out the kitchen and right out into the patio rather than through the living room to get to the patio. So we decided to rip this window out and put in a door. My husband Grant is a finished carpenter, which is why it makes it so easy for him to do a lot of these projects, because he has the knowledge and the skill set behind him to do this. So we took out this window and we put in the door. It's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. It's making it look very fast in this video, but this was probably about 2 weeks of work on this door. And then we decided to make this little area kind of a transitional sitting room / walk-through hall area. We did add some curtains and a rug. One of the issues in our house, I don't know if it's being more minimal, is an echo. So we do try to dampen that echo by adding curtains and rugs whenever we can. And then we added this bench, which added some storage and also a place to sit. Eventually, this area will become part of our kitchen. The kitchen will be extended into this area, so it will all make sense eventually, but we did have to do something with this area because it was just empty, and we didn't want to fill it with another table or furniture because no one really hangs out in this area. It's more of a walkthrough. At the beginning of 2022, we decided to start on the second portion of our living room. So we had already done the wall with the TV on it, but we needed to redo these windows because they were falling apart. The inner part was actually hanging down in the window, and we wanted to get rid of this huge sliding door. That sliding door was a huge piece of glass from the 1970s. Very dangerous. If something were to hit that, it would break into large pieces and someone could get very hurt. That was a real worrisome thing for me, having kids and that glass there. So we replaced that with some windows. We no longer wanted anyone walking through our living room to get out into the patio since we added that other door. Since we were already doing construction, my husband decided to rip down all of the drywall inside the room as well. Then we could insulate properly since this home is not insulated at all. And between the insulation we added into these walls and the new windows being insulated, this has helped so much with keeping our house cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. The only thing left to do is replace the floor eventually, which we will do when we have the time and money. One of the quicker updates we did was to paint this fireplace white and add some fireplace doors and gas logs for a cozy feel in this room. When we moved in here, the carpet in this one area was horrible. There were holes in the wall. So we patched all of that, ripped out the carpet and replaced it, made this our boys' room where we added some bunk beds recently and some tables from IKEA for them to do their homework on. And this room is beautiful now. I feel the only thing we need to do is replace some of the windows. The moment we moved in, we started a little bit of demo on this bathroom. So this is what the bathroom looks like currently, right after we moved in. The only new thing is we put this light fixture up, but this is all gonna go. Linoleum floor, this was a wall heater, and then this is the funky bath. It's all gonna go, and we're gonna take the window out, so it'll look completely different in here. Grant thought he would start the demo, but then it turns out that the pipes under here are completely corroded to where he can't even turn the water off to start the demo.
Hey, let me match the wall.
All leaking behind there.
It's condensation, it's not leaking.
Particle board with tile on it. And then we stopped and we haven't used this bathroom for 3 years straight. This week we had it completely demoed. There was no support under where the bath was, so we had to add a huge support beam. That way it could support the weight of the tub and the shower. The floor was literally collapsing. So that was something that was very important to fix. Then we had the plumbers come in and we had them add the tub that we bought. We picked out some gray tile, surprise, surprise. We always go with gray. Then we made sure to insulate the walls really well. And by we, I mean Grant is doing the majority of this work. We started in May. I'm putting the timestamps because I want to show you how long this project actually took us to do, considering we both work full time, we have kids, and we have our normal life. So we do this in our extra time. We're replacing the window. We wanted to have the most insulation possible, and the window was in terrible condition. Then, of course, we're just painting and we're going to be tiling. Grant had never tiled before, so there was a huge learning curve with this. We decided to just take our time and do it ourselves. We also had family staying with us when all this was going on, so we could not put all of our energy to this project, but we decided that it was okay to just work on it when we could because, hey, we hadn't been using this bathroom for 3 years anyways, so a little bit of time here and there was better than nothing. We wanted to go with shiplap on the wall for some detail because this is such a small bathroom. We don't want to have a lot of decorations, so shiplap was a great way to add some texture to the wall. And finally, come December, at the end of the year, we finished this bathroom. We added some hooks behind the door. Grant made this cupboard. We added some handles and some quartz countertop. We already had this light fixture. We added the mirror, and that is that. We love the way this turned out, and more than anything, we love having a bathroom to use in our home. This is the biggest bathroom, so we're so happy and grateful to have this to use and have it finished. During all the craziness of the bathroom renovation, we ended up having to get a new AC and heater unit because ours was just not working properly. But you can see how much better this looks to have it not on the roof anymore. And that window on the left still needs to be replaced, as you can see. When we moved in here, this is what our backyard looked like. It was a blank canvas, so we could do whatever we wanted with it. We have a lot of plans for this backyard for the future, but we started working on it right away just to make it fun and functional and a nice place to hang out in. Also, my husband and I and my mom comes over. We all love working in the backyard, working in the garden and growing vegetables and all of that. So while we do have lots of plans, we've already started doing what we can with what we have to make it a fun place to hang out in. Gardening is such a rewarding task. My mom and I made these raised garden beds out of some wood. It was a very simple project that allowed us to add some more dirt so we could plant and get the garden going. It was great to plant some stuff even though we didn't really have a plan and see what we could grow. And we had such a fun time doing this, and we are learning as we go and trying to improve in the years to come. We also had a tragic accident with our tree. The ficus tree actually blew down in a huge storm that we had, and it took down our fence. On the bright side, we were now able to fix the fence that needed to be fixed anyways and rethink our backyard to become more drought tolerant and get rid of the things that take up too much water since we do live in Southern California. We are currently coming up with a plan where we are getting rid of all of our grass, but in the meantime, all the grass is dead because we had such a warm summer with water restrictions. Now I'm just ripping off some of the outdoor stuff because we had our house painted. The frame on this window out here was actually indoor material, not made for outside. So those were the type of things that we were ripping down. This gate had to go. It never shut properly. Plus we did not like the chain link. So we were just taking down all the things that needed to be removed so we could have the painters come. We did contemplate painting the house ourselves, but it just did not make sense considering the time and energy it would take. And we wanted to get that completed before the rainy season set in. We were removing all the gutters, and we did have all of the gutters replaced. Also, there was this very odd plastic fence at our front door that I had been wanting to get rid of forever. So we ripped that out, and we do have plans to make a deck out front there. My husband also replaced these pillars out here because they were rotted. So he just put in new ones. So when they were painted, it would all function properly. We also went with a drought tolerant landscape in the little front area here. The inspiration were these pots with some succulents in there, and I have to say this was one of the best decisions we made because it needs very little water and it looks great. Even though we do get a few weeds popping up here and there, it looks great most of the year. If you don't have a lot of money, definitely painting and a little bit of landscaping can transform the way a space feels and looks. This paint job made our home look so much better. It just cleaned everything up and just transformed the front of our home. We also decided to add a fence along the very front of our yard. We still have a lot more fixing up to do around here. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I share weekly videos about minimalism, decluttering, simple living, and all the renovations that we are doing on our fixer-upper.